For years, Brandi Passante was known as one half of reality TV's most recognizable duo. Sharp-tongued, confident, and fearless, she stood out on Storage Wars as someone who refused to be intimidated. To viewers, Brandi seemed strong, unbothered, and always in control. But as she approaches 46, the reality of her life tells a far more complicated and heartbreaking story. Fame arrived suddenly. When Storage Wars exploded in popularity, Brandi was thrust into the spotlight almost overnight. Cameras followed her every move, and audiences formed opinions quickly. Some admired her toughness. Others judged her harshly. What few realized was how deeply that constant exposure would affect her personal life. Behind the scenes, pressure mounted. Balancing television fame with motherhood was never easy. Brandi wasn't just a reality star, she was raising children while navigating a world that constantly scrutinized her appearance, her attitude, and her choices. The tough exterior viewers saw was often a shield, built to survive relentless judgment. Then came the cracks. Her long-term relationship with Jared Schultz, both personal and professional, began to unravel. What looked like banter on screen masked deeper issues off camera. Eventually, the partnership ended, not just as a couple, but as a business team. The separation marked a turning point that reshaped Brandi's life entirely. Loss of partnership meant loss of stability. For years, Brandi's identity was tied to a duo. Walking away meant redefining herself in her 40s, under public scrutiny, while still being a parent. That transition wasn't glamorous. It was isolating. Suddenly, the cameras weren't a source of security, they were reminders of a life that no longer existed. Then came a darker chapter. Brandi later revealed that her former partner had been involved in serious legal trouble, something she had distanced herself from long before it became public. Still, the association followed her. Public perception rarely separates individuals cleanly, and Brandi found herself carrying emotional weight for choices she didn't make. Emotionally, the toll was heavy. Brandi has spoken about anxiety, exhaustion, and the emotional strain of constantly being on. Reality television rarely shows the aftermath, the quiet moments when the audience disappears but the pressure remains. Fame doesn't prepare you for what happens when it fades. Aging added another layer. Approaching 46 in an industry obsessed with youth is unforgiving. Brandi faced criticism not only for who she was, but for how she looked as time passed. Every change became a topic of discussion. For someone already carrying emotional scars, that scrutiny only deepened the wounds. Yet she endured. Brandi didn't disappear. She continued raising her children, prioritizing their privacy over publicity. She stepped back from chaos and chose boundaries, a decision that cost visibility but preserved sanity. Strength, for her, became quieter and more private. Loneliness lingered. Life after fame can feel emptier than life before it. Friends change. Opportunities shrink. The applause fades, leaving only reflection. Brandi has hinted that rebuilding a sense of self after reality TV is harder than anyone admits. The heartbreak isn't failure. It's survival. At almost 46, Brandi Passante's story isn't about scandal or collapse, it's about the emotional cost of being seen, judged, and then expected to move on without support. It's about redefining identity after public life reshapes you. She is no longer just a reality TV personality. She is a woman who lived under a microscope, lost what once defined her, and chose to keep going anyway. And that's what truly breaks hearts, not because she fell, but because she had to be strong when no one was watching.